If any of our visitors receive a parking citation...
Good evening, Owls fans, and welcome to our JV match versus Delta Eagles.
Please give it to Mr. Loderi. A friendly reminder
We're just getting ready for the starting lineups.
It's yours. Please set a good example for all of our young athletes. Any use of inappropriate language, harassment...
Quickly run through and thank our sponsors for the sponsorship of Burris Athletics and Muncie Burris Volleyball.
Team introductions.
Oh, now we're going to the start lineups.
The team appearing as the guest on the scoreboard, the Delta Eagles.
Delta will be wearing the gold jerseys with the blue numerals.
Number 1, Natalie Zirkle. Number 2, Simon Dishman. Number 3, Ainsley Driscoll. Number 4, Samantha Herron. Number 5, Tori King. Number 5, Samantha Herron. Number 6, Tori King. Number 7, Olivia Bradburn. Number 8, Elena Edwards. Number 9, Leanna Pickering. Number 10, Amy Amos. Number 12, Avery Lumen. Number 14, Morgan Hicks. And number 15, Lainey Moser. Owl fans, let's get on your feet.
And now starting lineup for the Muncie Burris Owls.
For the Owls. Number 1, Esther Kim. Number 2, Mary Street. Number 4, Jay-Z Johnson. Number 5, Julianne Proctor. Number 12, Gracie Simpson. Number 18, Sydney Jones. Number 3, Grace Moorman. Number 6, Corinne Meyer. Number 9, Paige Lynn. Number 10, Rosie Bracken. Number 11, Connie Waiter. Number 14, Haley Allison. And number 20, Katie Nagel.
And the teams come together in the middle as we get ready to start the JV match versus the Delta Eagles. JV is coming off a victory last week against Anderson Prep, where they won in 2 sets. And out on the court is Rosie Bracken, Paige Corinne, Haley Allison, Grace Moorman, Connie Prater, Katie Nagel, and the libero will be Corinne Meyer. She will come in shortly to substitute. As I check the lineups, I want to thank our sponsors: Texas Roadhouse, Prime Trust Financial Federal Credit Union, Once Upon a Child, Creek Run Environmental Engineering, Star Insurance, O'Neill and Associates, Savage's Ale House, Meeks Mortuary, Fred and Diana Palmer, State Farm Insurance, Rod Cross with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. And we'll get to the rest of them later, as Owls will be serving first. Back to serve is Katie Nagel.
Serving for the Owls, number 20, Katie Nagel.
And serve goes over. And back row attack rolls over to the net for a point for the Delta.
Serving for the Eagles,
14, Morgan Hicks. Meyer to Bracken. To Allison. And tipped over. And doesn't clear the net. And that'll be point for the Owls. We're now tied up at 1 point apiece.
Serving for the Owls, number 3, Grace Moorman.
Moorman back to serve for Burris. Long serve. There's a set. Outside attack. Handled by Mormon to Bracken. Allison with the attack. And down the line, bounced up by Nagel to Mormon. Meyer sends a free ball over. And into the net. Point to the Owls. Now leading 2-1. Mormon to serve. And serving error on the Owls. Tie us up at 2 points apiece.
Serving for the Eagles, number 4, Ansley Grismore.
Grismore back to serve. Nagel to Bracken. Allison tips it over. But it goes out of bounds. And that's a point for the Eagles. They now lead 3-2. Nagel to Bracken. Allison, and attack goes long. Point to Delta. Now leading 4-2. Grismore continuing to serve. Nagel to Bracken. Tipped over by Allison. The outside attack. Dug up by Meyer to Bracken. Allison. She sends it down the line. And the Eagles send it into the net. Point to the Owls. As they trail 3-4 early in this first set.
Number 1, Molly Tuttle.
Molly Tuttle enters the lineup for the Eagles.
Number 14, Haley Allison.
There's a backward attack. And tipped out of bounds by the Owls. To side out for the Eagles as they now lead 5-3.
Number 10, Kaylee Amos.
Amos to serve. Nagel handles the serve, sends it to Bracken. Tipped over by Horan, and the Eagles are there. Pushed over by Meyer. And outside attack. The Eagles can't get there in time. That's a point for the Eagles, now leading 6-3. Amos back to serve. Nagel handles it, sends it to Bracken. Tipped over by Hunter for the kill. Owls get to serve back, and Rosie Bracken will be serving. They trail 6-4. Low fast serve from Bracken. And outside attack goes long. Gives a point to the Owls. Now leading trailing 5-6. Cross attack. Dug up by Meyer. And it's bouncing around and stuck up in rafters. So we're going to replay the point. Bracken will serve again. Who says what comes up must come down? It's set. Right side attack. Dug up by Nagel. To Bracken. The Prater sends it over. Bracken to Nagel. Meyer sends an attack, but it goes long.
Point Delta.
Side out to Delta. They now lead 5-7.
15, Lady Bosner.
Bosner back to serve. Meyer. And the Owls can't get there in time. Point to the Eagles, now leading 8-5. Bosher back to serve. Bracken and Owls can't get there to get it over. Meyer sends it to Nagel. to her end. And it goes above. And the Eagles have doubled up 10-5. And with that, Owls are going to take a timeout. I want to thank all our sponsors for their support of Burris Athletics and especially Burris Volleyball. Start with Texas Roadhouse. They have legendary food, legendary service, all with legendary fun. Call ahead seating at 765-282-7113. Stop in West McGallion for a little bit of Texas right here in Muncie. Prime Trust Financial Federal Credit Union, where your story matters, offering a variety of consumer and personal financial products and services. Prime Trust Financial Federal Credit Union. And Creek Run Environmental Engineering. Take pride in what we do with 24 years of service. Find them at www.creekrun.com. And Delta serves over, handled by Meyer. The back set over by Nagel, catches the Eagles. Unprepared. Point.
Subbing in for Burris, number 4, Jason Johnson.
Johnson enters the lineup and will be back to serve for the Owls. And short serve has the Eagles scrambling. And they send it over. Johnson to Meyer. Free ball from Nagel, heads over. Middle attack goes long, and there's a point for the Owls. Now trailing 10-7. Johnson serve is over. There's the set. Right side attack. And net violation on the Owls. Gives the point to the Eagles. They now lead 11-7. Back to serve is Samantha Horn. Meyer. Nagel tips it over. And a pancake by Eagles. Bracken sends it to Nagel. Free ball. Doesn't make it over. And there's another point for Delta. And serving error. Gives the side out to the Owls. Now trailing 8-12.
Serving for the Owls, number 6, Meyer.
Meyer back to serve. Right side attack. And Owls can't get there. There's a point for the Eagles. Now leading 13-8. Eagle serve handled by Johnson. She sends it over. And then Nagel sends over a free ball. Attack in the middle of all the defenders. That's a point to the Eagles. Now leading 14-8.
For the Eagles, number 3, Dishman.
Dishman to serve. Johnson to Nagel. Carlson for the kill. I'll give the serve back to the Owls. Trailing by 5, 9-14. Katie Nagel back to serve. There's an ace for Nagel. That puts the Owls in double figures with 10. Attack. Johnson gets it up, but sends it into the scorer's table. And that's a side out for the Eagles, now leading 15-10.
Coming in for Delta.
Morgan Hicks back to serve.
Serving for Delta, number 14, Morgan Hicks.
Meyer to Bracken. And bounces out of bounds. Gives the point to the Eagles. Hicks back to serve again. Meyer to Bracken. Moorman And fails to make it over the net.
Delta.
And that goes to Delta. Now leading 17-10. Meyer to Nagel, or to Bracken, to Prater, or no, I'm all messed up here. There's Johnson to Bracken, to Hurin, or to Allison, but it goes out of bounds. Point to the Eagles. They lead 18-10. About as off as the Owls are today. Serve, Johnson to Bracken, to Allison. Eagles set up for an outside pass, and it goes right in the middle.
Delta.
Delta now leads 19-10. Hicks continuing to serve. Meyer digs it up, sends it up to Bracken. Moorman pushes it over. Back set. Dug up by Nagel. And Owls can't get there.
Point Delta.
Now Eagles have doubled it up 20-10 here in this first set. Bracken, Moorman pushes it over. And there's a kill from the Eagles. Now leading 21-10. Johnson to Nagel, to Allison. Set up, and that attack goes long. That's set up for the Owls. Owls needed that as they trail 11-21. Grace Simpson is going to enter the lineup for Grace Moorman.
Serving for the Owls, number 12, Gracie Simpson.
Paige Hurin enters the lineup for J.C. Johnson.
Coming in for the Owls,
Simpson will be back to serve.
Paige Hurin.
And attack goes long. There's a point for the Owls. Simpson serve goes short, and that's a side out for the Eagles. Eagles now leading our Owls 22-12. Meyer to Hurin, and Bracken sends it over. Tipped. Nagel sends it over. And the diving dig. And that goes out of bounds. Point to the Owls.
Point Burris.
Owls continuing the fight. Connie Prater in for the Owls. Haley Allison back to serve. Nagel, Bracken, and net violation on the Owls. Gives Eagles a 23rd point.
Serving for the Eagles, number 10, Kaylee Amos.
Kaylee Amos back to serve. And serving air gives it right back to the Owls. Owls hoping to capitalize and go on a scoring run here.
Serving for the Owls,
Trailing 23-14, Bracken to serve. Tipped over, but Myers there. Nagel sends it right over. And there's a roll shot. Bracken to Nagel. To Prater. And Simpson's there to Nagel. Prater's roll shot. Outside attack is tipped over. Meyer recovers. Nagel pushes it to the corners. And Simpson, and it falls to the court. Gives.
Serving for the Eagles, number 15.
Eagles will be back to serve. 4-set point. Closure back to serve. And Meyer, Nagel sends it over. And long shot, dug up by Bracken. Pushed over by Prater. Tipped over, and it falls in the back corner. And that's the end of the first set. Owls fall 25-14 to the Delta Eagles. Give an opportunity as a team switch sides to thank our sponsors. Once Upon a Child, kids stuff with previous experience. Recycle your children's nearly new items and get paid on the spot. Once Upon a Child is located at West McGalliard in Muncie. Star Insurance, committed to serving the needs of our community but helping people protect what matters most, both professionally and personally. Located in downtown Muncie, that's Star Insurance. O'Neill and Associates, gained from a unique, individualized custom plan using their independent perspective with more than 15 years of dedicated personalized service at 3503 West Fox Ridge Lane, Muncie. Savage's Ale House, serving Savage's signature sandwiches, beer, burgers, and beer. Find them at Facebook at Savage's Ale House or stop in at 127 North High Street in Muncie. Meeks Mortuary, serving all of Delaware County with sensitivity, compassion, and respect since 1844. A family-owned operation operated by your neighbors and friends. Rod Crossing with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood because we have you covered. Contact Rod for all your auto, home, life, business, and farm insurance needs. He can be found at White River Boulevard. Moe's Southwest Grill. There is no I in team, but there is an I in burrito. Offering delicious Mexican cuisine made from fresh ingredients that you love. Located in West McGalliard in Muncie. Berrywinkle frozen yogurt with over 50 toppings and 14 different flavors of frozen yogurt. Berrywinkle is the best place for dessert in Muncie. Central Indiana Orthopedics, specializing in joint replacement, physical medicine and rehabilitation, pediatric orthopedics, and sports medicine. They're located at 3600 West Bethel at Central Indiana Orthopedics. Mahdi Grill, serving authentic Egyptian grilled food. Serving lunch, dinner, coffee, and drinks. Good for groups, dine-in, or takeout. Find them at Mahdi Grill on Facebook. Wendy Meyer with LuLaRoe, serving Eastern and Central Indiana. Providing comfy and affordable clothing for all shapes and sizes of Wendy. Find her at LuLaRoe Wendy Meyer on Facebook. And finally, Doug Meyer with State Farm Insurance. Being a good neighbor is more than being there when things go completely wrong. It's for all life's moments. Contact Doug for all your auto, home, property, and life insurance needs. Find him at dougismyagent.com. I want to thank all our sponsors, and when you stop in, please tell them you heard about them on the Cube. And thank them for their support of Burris Athletics and Burris Volleyball. Getting ready to start the second set here. Owls have Allison, Jones, Nagel, Prater, Harin, Bracken, and Meyer will be subbing in as a libero. Eagles will have first serve. Owls are hoping to bounce back after that first set loss. Force a decisive third set. Morgan Hicks will be back to serve.
Number 14, Morgan Hicks.
Serve is up. Allison to Nagel. Meyer with the back row attack. And roll shot. And dug up by Meyer with a great dig. And the Owls send it over. And there's the attack into the net. Point to the Owls. They take a 1-0 lead. Freshman Katie Nagel back to serve. JC Johnson enters the lineup for the Owls.
Serving for the Owls, number 20, Katie Nagel.
Pushed over. Owls are there. There's Meyer. To Allison, and she rolls it over for a point. Owls now leading 2-0. Ace for Nagel. Owls have broken out to a 3-0 lead. Freshman Nagel back to serve. Short serve. And sent over by Hicks. And now scrambling but can't get there. Gives the side out to Delta. Owls continuing the lead 3-1.
Coming in for Delta, number 1, Molly Tuttle.
Molly Tuttle back to serve for the Eagles. Serve is over. Handled by Johnson to Bracken. To Jones. Attack handled by Meyer. Nagel to Allison. Tipped over. Nagel's there. To Bracken. Johnson tips it over. And a net violation on the Owls. Gives a point to the Eagles. Burris continuing the lead 3-2. Meyer and Bracken quickly sends it over to the back corner for a point. Owls now lead 4-2. Paige Hurin back in the lineup for the Owls.
Coming in for Burris, number 9, Paige Hurin.
Junior Sydney Jones back to serve.
For the Owls, number 18, Sydney Jones.
Set, outside attack, off the block. Jones digs it up, and Owls can't get it out of the net.
Point, Delta.
Side out to the Eagles. Owls continuing the lead, 4-3.
Serving for the Eagles, number 10, Keely Davis.
Meyer sets the Bracken, and into the net. Foul. We're tied up at 4 points apiece.
Coming in for the Eagles.
Amos back to serve.
Number 8, Elena Edwards.
Nagel to Bracken to Hurin. And net violation on Eagles gives a point to the Owls. Freshman Haley Allison back to serve for the Owls. Owls leading 5-4. Outside attack. Another net violation. And that gives a point to the Eagles. And we're tied up at 5 points apiece.
Point, Delta.
Natalie Zirkle back to serve. Nagel handles it. And Bracken tips it over. And Eagles tip it over. Player, fortunately pushes it into the tennis out of bounds. Point to the Eagles. They now lead 6-5. Meyer sends it over. Roll shot. Another net violation. Owls now trail 7-5. Nagel. Bracken tips it over. Johnson net, and that point goes to the Eagle. Owls. Freshman Rosie Bracken back to serve. Service error on the Owls. That gives a point to the Eagles, now leading 8-6.
Number 8, Lena Edwards.
And Lena Grismore enters the lineup. Elena Edwards back to serve. Long serve goes out of bounds. Point to the Owls. J.C. Johnson enters the lineup for the Owls. She'll be going back to serve. As the Owls trail 7-8 in the second set. Johnson serve just clears the net. Roll shot, and Nagel is there. And Nagel sends it into the block, but she's there to cover. Meyer. Prater sends it over. And the attack from the Eagles goes long. That's point to the Owls. We're now tied at 8 points apiece. Johnson serve. Free ball sent over by the Eagles. Bracken to Nagel. Prater, long shot. And Bracken digs that up. Johnson sends it forward. Jones sends it over to the net. There's a slide. Nagel handles it, but it goes out of bounds. And that gives the lead to the Eagles. 9-8.
Coming in for the Eagles, number 10, Haley Eamon. Serving for the Eagles.
Tyan Dishman back to serve.
Dishman.
A little fast serve dug up by Bracken. She sends it over, and Eagles make it pay for the overpass. And with that, Owls take a timeout as they trail 10-8. Want to thank Gaddis Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the official sponsors of the Dodge Report. The post-game comments by Coach Dodge after each varsity match. You can find an assortment of new and pre-owned inventories at 1717 North Wheeling, and our friendly, highly knowledgeable staff is dedicated to your satisfaction. That's Gaddis Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Can keep track of all of Burris Athletics on Twitter at Burris Athletics 1. For all the news, scores, and events, that's at Burris Athletics 1 on Twitter. And as always, you can follow me and provide in-broadcast comments and questions at Owls TV 1. Dishman serve is over. Handled by Meyer. And that'll be an ace for the Eagles.
Point Delta. 7 number 7.
Bradburn enters the lineup for the Eagles. Dishman back to serve. And serving air. Turns the side out to the Eagle, or the Owls. But they trail 9-11.
Serving for the Owls.
Corinne Meyer back to serve. Serve. And there's an ace for Meyer. That pulls the Owls within 1, 10-11. Overpass. Owls are ready for it. Oh! And bounced off a couple out. That gives the point to Delta. They now lead 12-10.
Coming in for the Eagles, number 15, Lady Moser.
Morgan Hicks back to serve. She had a long run in the first set to finish off the Owls. Back row attack from Meyer, and that's good for a kill. Owls hanging tough here in this second set. Only trailing 12-11.
For the Owls, number 20, Katie Nagel.
Freshman Katie Nagel back to serve. Service error on the Owls.
Point Delta. Coming in for the Eagles, number 1, Molly Tuttle. Serving for the Eagles, number
Delta
1,
leading
Molly
Burris
Tuttle.
13-11. There's a serve, handled by Nagel, sent to Bracken. Jones with the outside attack. Nagel handles it. Bracken tips it over. Allison. Eagles recover. Tipped over, but Nagel's there. Bracken back to Nagel. And tipped over, and Jones tips it over. Back row attack. Johnson to Bracken. To Allison with the long shot. Outside attack. And tipped up by Meyer, but can't quite get there in time. Point to Delta. Now leading 14-11. Meyer to Bracken. Allison sends a roll shot, but it goes just long.
Point Delta.
Gives a point to the Eagles as they lead 15-11. Tuttle back to serve. Johnson handles the serve to Bracken. Jones with the attack into the block. And Owls can't get there in time to cover. Nagel handles the serve to Bracken. Back to Nagel. And attacking error on the Eagles. Gives the point to Burris. Junior. Paige Hurren enters the lineup. Junior. Sydney Jones back to serve.
18, Sydney Jones.
And service error on the Owls.
Delta.
Eagles now lead 17-12.
Olivia
Bradford.
12, Gracie Simpson.
Back to serve.
Serving for the Eagles.
Simpson enters the lineup for the Owls. Meyer to Bracken. To Allison. Tipped over. Bracken sends it right back over. Outside attack, and it's picked by the Owls. Delta now leads 18-12. Meyer to Bracken. To Wren into the block. And that's a point for the Eagles. And with that, Owls take a timeout as they trail 19-12. I want to thank Prime Trust Financial Federal Credit Union, the largest credit union in Muncie with 3 locations at West Bethel, South Madison, and North Broadway. Once upon a child, they buy and sell gently used kids' clothing, shoes, toys, and baby gear. And get paid on the spot. Located at West McGalliard, Muncie. Creek Run Environmental Engineering, taking pride with what we do with 24 years of environmental engineering experience. Find them at creekrun.com. Bradburn back to serve for the Eagles. Meyer sends it to Bracken. And Hurren into the block.
Point Delta.
And the point goes to the Eagles. They now lead 20-12. Bradburn serve. Handled by Meyer to Bracken. Back row attack from Nagel. And attack from the Eagles goes long. It gives a side out to the Owls. Mormon enters the lineup for Prater.
Burris, number 3, Grace.
Haley Allison back to serve. Number 14.
Haley Allison.
Outside attack. Nagel to Bracken. Prater sends it over to the middle. Nagel knocks it up to Bracken. Allison sends the free ball over. And tacking air on the Eagles gives a point to the Owls. Owls trying to climb back in this, trailing 14-20. Outside attack, dug up by Simpson. Nagel runs it down, pushed over by Hurin. Tip, and Hurin's there, knocks it up. Mormon sends it over. Right side attack, and it finds the back corner. That's a point to the Eagles, now leading 21-14.
Coming in for the Eagles, number 2, Natalie Zirkle.
Zirkle in, she will be back to serve.
Natalie Zirkle.
Service air gives the point to the Owls.
Point,
Bracken back to serve.
Serving for the Owls, number 10, Muncie, Bracken.
Tipped over, and Owls can't get there.
Point, Delta.
Grismore enters the lineup for the Eagles.
Number 4, Grismore.
And Samantha Heron back to serve.
Samantha Heron.
Eagles leading 22-15 over the Owls. Simpson to Bracken to Heron. She sends the free ball. Middle attack. Dug up by Simpson. Bracken runs it down. Nagel tries a one-handed, and it goes behind the official. That gives a point to the Eagles. Meyer. Nagel sends it over. Attack. And it goes long. Point to the Owls. They trail 23-16. J.C. Johnson enters the lineup to serve for the Owls.
Johnson. Serving for the Owls, number 4, J.C. Johnson.
Johnson serves over. Tipped over by the Eagles. Bracken. Nagel sends a free ball over. And attack. Dug up by Bracken. Nagel tips it over. And right side attack. Off the block. To Bracken. To Nagel. To Meyer. She sends it down the line. Tipped over. Nagel. Bracken. Back to Nagel. And it just goes long. Giving the 24th point to the Eagles.
Number 18, Sydney Jones.
Jones enters the lineup for the Eagles.
Coming in for Delta, number 10.
Amos enters the lineup for the Eagles. Back to serve will be Libero Dishman.
Serving for the Eagles.
He'll be serving for a match point. Nagel tips it over and pushed right back by the Eagles. Jones tries the attack. Tip. Nagel. Johnson tips, sends it over. And Mormon's pass just clears ahead. Gives the point to the Owls. Still alive in this second set, but trailing 24-17.
Serving for the Owls, number 6, Corinne Meyer. Coming in for Burris, number 14, Haley Allison.
Haley Allison back to serve. Meyer. Roll fast serve from Meyer. And that attack scores a point and ends the match. Owls fall to the Eagles 25-17 in 2 sets. Quickly, want to thank all our sponsors: Star Insurance, O'Neill and Associates, Savage's Ale House, Meeks Mortuary, Fred and Diane Palmer with State Farm Insurance, Rod Cross with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Moe's Southwest Grill, Berrywinkle Frozen Yogurt, Central Indiana Orthopedics, Mahdi Grill, Wendy Meyer with LuLaRoe, Doug Meyer, State Farm Insurance, Gaddis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Texas Roadhouse, Prime Trust Financial Federal Credit Union, Once Upon a Child, and Creek Run Environmental Engineering. I want to thank all our sponsors for their support. And again, as you stop in, please tell them you heard about them on theCUBE. I want to thank you for viewing. Stay tuned and switch over to our channel for the varsity match versus the Delta Eagles. JV will be in action tomorrow night at Ball Jam facing Wapahani starting at 6 o'clock. We will see you then. And thank you for tuning in.